Good morning once more. Welcome to DBS This Morning. My name is Maureen. Another awesome day in the Helen of the West. I'm very, very pleased to be amongst the living this morning. So I'm giving thanks and praise. Gratitude is definitely a must. What do we have today? Well, today we're going to be focusing on one particular person and a journey. But quite interesting. We're going to get to that in a moment. Let's first stopping at the news desk, find out what's happening there.
Good morning. The Royal St. Lucia Police Force, the RSLPF, has formally charged one man in connection with last Friday's homicide in Micoud. The department commenced investigations into the murder of Vern Joseph, a resident of Diga, Micoud, on Friday, September 8, 2023. On that day, the lifeless body of the deceased was discovered near a bus shelter with lacerations to the neck. The suspect, Gillian Felius Samson, or Sonson, alias Makak of Micoud, was arrested. On Monday, September 11th, Sonson was charged with the murder of Vern Joseph. He was presented before the magistrate's court where bail was denied and he was remanded to the Bodley Correctional Facility. The St. Lucia Industrial and Small Business Association, SLISBA, hosted an exhibition outside of its Lapensee Castries headquarters on Tuesday aimed at attracting potential buyers for members' Creole-themed fashion designs.
So we want everybody to get a feel of the different materials that we use to produce our fashion pieces, and we want to encourage persons out there to come and get these pieces. These are unique pieces cultured by our local people.
Tuesday's event will be followed by pop-up shops in October as local fashion designers look to cash in on the demand for Creole wear during Creole Heritage Month. The St. Lucia Social Development Fund, or SSDF, and the Education Quality Improvement Project continue to provide support for students participating in the Post-Primary Alternative Pathway Program, or PAP, administered at the Center for Adolescent Renewal and Education Limited's, or CARES, facility.
Because the program falls in line with the mandate of the SSDF, which is to provide opportunity to the most vulnerable people in our society to improve the quality of life, to provide them with access to such opportunity. I encourage you, my final words, I encourage you to take this program seriously. It's not just an opportunity for us to spend money on the students, pay their tuition fees, and give them a laptop, but it's an opportunity for you to improve the quality of your life.
The PAP is a targeted intervention strategy designed to provide students with additional support through adaptive pedagogical methods beyond primary school to cater to their unique educational needs. The Ministry of Youth Development has partnered with a local entrepreneur to deliver care packages to young female students in the Grosley constituency.
Know all too well the experience of individuals, especially females, who live under a certain strata and they're involved in sport. I remember growing up, attending the Leonese Comprehensive Secondary School, that you would see females in training very often, but for one time of the month, you just don't see them, and you don't really know what's going on. If a competition is held during a particular time of the month, they are unable to attend, and that really was a setback for a number of athletes.
The packages were provided by the company Evolve and Change. Those are your top stories. Thanks for watching. Good morning.
Thank you, News Desk. We take a break and we will be right back. So, today we had yet another privilege of catching up with Beverly Thomas. Bev, I always run to Bev because Bev is inspiration, and this is what we would like to do. We need to find more spaces where we highlight positivity amongst us, because the negatives are overbearing, and we need to find time where we can find persons who are doing positive stuff, and hopefully it can inspire the rest of us who's viewing. Beverly Thomas, we knew her in the world of cosmetology. She has since branched off, or transitioned rather, into art. And we caught up with her. Let's see what's going on here. It is such a beautiful day, and we are here at Serenity Park, and we're here with Beverly.
Hi.
Beverly, we know her as Bev, and this is not our first encounter with Beverly, but it's our first encounter with Beverly in that capacity. Yes, because we
Definitely.
know Bev Beauty Clinic.
Tell me, so
The
many-
eyelashes, the makeup, the hair.
Yes.
We've been there. We've done that.
Done that part, yes.
But you have now recently had reason to transition. That's the word, transition.
Definitely.
And you're now into art. Now we want
That's
to walk through that
right.
art journey with you.
Yes.
I mean, we know that the hands, okay, we knew the hands had powers.
Yes.
With everything
But
else,
not-
but
but
I
not
would
that
have never
power.
guessed that the hands had that power.
Taken by surprise.
Yeah, so tell
Element
me
of surprise.
about this newfound, is it a career? Is it this newfound
I've
passion?
made it
is
a
it the-
career now.
You've made it a career, but it started as a passion.
It started as a distraction during COVID.
Okay, now there we go.
To keep myself occupied during the first lockdown of COVID. You know,
Right.
I've always been creative, always been painting from young and all of that, but when the first shutdown came, I needed to find something to do.
Right.
My grandson had canvases. I said, you know what, why not just do a painting and keep, and you know, you fall in love with it. The more you do it, the more you want to do it.
Right.
And then we had a partial opening, stacked up on canvases, and then it just went.
But this would have had to have been in you.
Yes,
Because I
it
didn't
must
think about
be.
painting in during COVID.
I don't paint on an easel, imagine.
Right.
I don't use an easel. I freehand. I have the paint, the canvas, and I paint as I go along, turn it upside down, and when I'm done, it's done. No easel.
Oh.
Right. And
So freehand, basically. You do
freehand. I don't use pens. No pencils. I don't draw with pencils. I don't mix colors before. I mix it while I'm painting, so to get the color schemes and all of that. And even if you look at the black and white one, there's different shades of gray you have to get. I mix it as I go along on the canvas, though, not even on a palette. So it's different kind of painting, because I've been around other painters who said this is weird.
That's what I'm about to
This
say
is
to you. Now
weird.
you might be ruffling the feathers of the big guns in the business now that saying it has to be done this way.
No. I actually had an artist who was at Bay Gardens recently. I did Sip and Paint, which I will come to. And she said, you have showed me that this does not have to be done like that.
Right.
She said she know painting is you have an easel, then you have a Picasso style palette, and then
Right.
all your standard. Sometimes I do an entire painting with only 2 brushes. So
Okay.
it's
Okay.
probably just the creative me, or maybe I was born with that passion. But my dad was the one who was creative and painting and building carnival costumes and stuff
Oh,
in his
really?
early
So
age.
it's been
He
there.
died when I was 6 months, but I guess he left everything with me.
Wow.
So this is what makes it even more special.
And
My
how
mom
long? Well,
said
you
that.
said during COVID, so that's about
Yeah.
3 or
Yes, during COVID,
four
yes. I
years or so.
painted, and then I launched Art by Bev. I've called it Art by Bev because I like to be affiliated with the name, so that my name is already known, so people gravitate quickly and knows, hey, Beverly's onto something new.
right.
And
You said you turned it into a career. So
Yes.
where are you at right now?
well,
with this?
I am on Coral Street. I am based here, but if you need art from me, you get in touch with me via Instagram, art_by_bev, and you can call me at my number, which is still 718-7313, or reach out to me Facebook Beverly Thomas, and this is where I'm at. But I'm in the process of finding a location where I can have the art on display. I would paint on the scene. You could come in. You could have. You can be my understudy. And again, I have like 3 young guys that I'm teaching to paint because they are not working and they are just around. So I've decided, hey, let me grab them, and they are very excited, doing very well. That's Eli, Jaden, and sorry about the other name, but however, I have 3 young guys that I'm doing some understudying with, and they are really doing well.
You always seem to do that. No matter what field you
Yes.
transition into,
Yes.
you
Yes.
tend to find a place where you
Can-
incorporate other persons,
Yes,
young persons.
yes.
For want of a better word, people, well, like you said, they're
Of
not
course,
yet working.
they are
you
unoccupied.
Find unoccupied.
Yes, and I believe we need to look out for the young generation now, because the world have changed, and the transition of coming from secondary school or even primary school, especially if you don't have proper parental guidance, you tend to fall short and stray along the way. So I always want to look out for the younger generation, because I have my 8 grandkids, and I would like to know that if I'm there or not there, that my name would carry some weight enough that somebody can look out for them, pull them up if they're straying, straighten them if they're taking the wrong turn. Because society needs to do some more of that as we speak.
And if you know Beverly, now in our second feature, we are still continuing the conversation, because if you know Beverly well, Beverly is also about upliftment. Beverly is also about growth. Beverly is also a lot about, pointing out where we can make improvements. And likewise, she would have shared her views there as well. Some of the paintings that are before us right now, we're looking at. And you have, there seems to be a
genre of
right, right. But I am particularly drawn to these, those that represent or captures the traditional cultural things of a Caribbean.
Lost games, lost behavior, lost scenes. Forgotten.
Now you have
even.
the dodgeball. So you got dodgeball.
Yes.
When was the last time we heard about dodgeball? It's the one. I think we're watching it. This one here.
Yes.
This is the dodgeball one
Yes.
here. And dodgeball. You also have the top. So these are is that something that we can look forward to? Because so many people say the painting you could find, when you look at a certain painting, you'll say, all right, I'll be able to associate it with that.
Yes.
Right. And so is that something that you intentionally hope to capture within your painting?
Definitely so. But what I have decided to do various genres of painting, because everybody likes something different. Mm-hmm. But I believe we need to keep our cultural and our ethnic images alive.
Yes.
Because right now they're children, and my grandson asked me, "Mommy, what's that? Were you sending a stone after the lady?" I said, "No.
It's a dodgeball."
It's dodgeball. Yes. So you see, I want to carry on with that. There's the top. I have hopscotch. I have Chinese skip.
Wow.
Tiki talk, jacks, and these are the images I want to continue to portray in different aspects. Even scenic, antique houses.
Okay.
Various locations in St. Lucia. I have the cannon at Pigeon Island.
Oh.
Yeah, I have the military barracks.
So what happens
at
now with those paintings? Now that you've painted them, you put them down on canvas.
What has happened is I have sold a few within starting, and I have realized that more St. Lucians are interested than I anticipated. I never believed people would like to purchase a painting from me. For example, I'll give you DJ Shotman. He has 2 of my pieces now.
Wow.
He bought one where I had an antique house with a goat in some grass.
Oh.
And then he came, he's like, "Oh, I have an image. I have a ethnic silhouette of an African woman with a lot of beads and chains and head ties." He got that one last week.
Wow.
So
Shotman and nothing, is it?
Yes.
Shotman, I didn't understand you from that angle, man.
And when he got it, he said, "I'm going to see what else I want," because he's actually putting them up at his house.
Right.
That's beautiful. I have clients. Alice from Wings of Love, she got a couple. I painted the Central Library, and it went like that. She picked it up because she loved it.
Oh, this is great.
And I have
stuff.
a lady carrying water with a bucket on her head, images like that. And these are the things that are special.
Do you think that these images resonate with your childhood?
Yes, it does. Yes, it does. I love it. It's simple, and it gives you, it's discipline as well. Mom would say, "Go by the pipe and fill a bucket of water," and blah, blah, blah. And then you use it as an excuse to play, though.
Yeah. You get licks when you get back home.
Because, yes, in this day and age, it's the water and get back. But you know us as kids growing up.
So this painting now has transitioned into a way of you connecting and continuing to live on childhood memories, which I'm assuming you hold very dear.
I hold very dear because I have done almost all of them, and I believe if our younger generation had kept to some of that, we'd have been a lot better off,
where we are right now.
Instead of guns and knives and fights. Yeah.
chopping of
You know,
necks and
even
things, that's
even recently, I believe even in the sporting area, there's so much more we can do.
Yes, I say that all the
And
time.
from young, I look, my granddaughter, she backflips, spin, jumps, all on her
Gymnastics.
own. Gymnastics, where
we don't
is
have
it, you
that,
know?
yeah.
Even basic acrobatic stuff, and the skills you acquire from young could take you a long way.
If the avenue is
Look, we have
available.
a young lady who made it to Julian, who
Yeah,
made it
she's
to the big picture, you know.
Yeah.
And this is for a small island like St. Lucia.
It's huge.
I've seen too many. It's huge. I must say huge. That's a good thing to say, because a lot of skillful people. And Maureen, I've looked at craft. I've done the craft at Fordor. There is this thing, St. Lucian, that's done by the Ministry of Agriculture. And when you see what we can create as a people,
Yeah.
it is very, very important. I know we're talking about me, but St. Lucia is more than Bev and Art by Bev.
Yeah.
You know, and you, Maureen, and the stations that take time out to allow us to bring this out there. You are so special. Because negativity have been plaguing our country, and you guys put us out there and make a mark, you know. And even out of everybody viewing, 3 people, 1 person can take this and run with it. You've done a great deal.
Absolutely.
You understand?
Absolutely.
And I really love the fact that I am considered by all stations. You always check on Bev. That's one thing.
You inspire me.
You find me.
You inspire
and,
me.
And like I said, you're great at what you do, but you give us a real chance to speak up. And it is something that's really dear to me, and I commend the station for doing that. Beverly and Thomas and Art by Bev, I appreciate you. I appreciate the fact that you can go out and find us solutions to represent what we are doing and what we can bring to the table.
Absolutely.
Because at the end of the day, this is more important, because it's going to resonate with somebody at some point in time. And it will be reviewed. So years down the line, we've been in the archives.
Yes.
Because life is about memories anyways.
Exactly.
The memories you make is what keeps you on the face of the earth. You know?
Well, we are honored. As DBS, this is our mission. We certainly, we believe that we have a responsibility and to add to the fabric of positivity as well. In closing, Bev, where again can we find Bev? Art by Bev?
Beverly Thomas on Facebook, art_by_Bev on Instagram, Body Curve 758. You know me. Remember, I made wire bras and stuff like that. So that too. And you did an interview with me then. It's still there. Body Curves with art, face painting, kids activities, backdrops, and a lot more. And I'm located on Coral Street. That's after Stardust, upstairs Blossom Super clothing store. You can find me there. But however, if you ask for Bev, I'm sure somebody's gonna show you where Bev is. It's very easy.
There
very
you go.
easy.
Bev,
very, very
continue
easy.
to be, that driving force, man.
Thank you.
You are an inspiration, and it's important to shed light on persons like yourself,
Thank
because
you.
we need to show people that there is different avenues, so many different ways that persons can be meaningfully engaged. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Thanks, DBS.
Good morning, DBS family, and welcome to another episode of DBS's Lookbook. I am Vanessa Henry Long, your certified image consultant, personal stylist, and makeup artist of Lovely Makeup Artistry and Image Consultancy. This morning, I am also bringing you on another treat right here at Posh Life in Air Valmore. I'm going to teach you a little bit on how to mix and match styles. This is a skill, or I would say an art, that some persons have not yet mastered, but I believe it is definitely a skill to consider, especially when you have so many outfits in your closet and you do not know how to put them together. A lot of people struggle with that. So here is a simple tip on how you can make this work. The first thing is to establish what theme are you going for. So for instance, if it is a chic theme, a loud theme, a funny theme, or even if you are looking to put colors, prints, patterns, or if you are going to keep it very simple, classy, or romantic, or I would say a natural style. So you need to establish the theme that you are going for first and foremost. Then now, here is what you are going to do. Pick a main piece. Now this main piece may be something like a pants that you can utilize as, I would say, that piece of inspiration. That piece will allow you now to mix and match whatever it is that you want to put with it. So for instance, this piece is a piece that I would say that is very bold. It has a lot of colors. Therefore, if you are going to mix and match with this piece, you would need to pair it up with a solid, because you don't want it to be clashing out too much, and again, you do not want too many colors. So how do you do this? You would need to first and foremost understand your undertone, which is the color beneath your skin. So for instance, if you have a warm undertone, which means that you are more of the golden type individual like myself, you are going to pair this piece up, because of all of the colors that it has, with a piece that has a warm undertone. So for instance, we are going to pair this piece with this top. Now this top is an orange piece. Now this orange is what I call a warm orange. So again, because of the warmth in that color, it will bring out the color of your eyes and it will allow you to stand out more. However, if you have more of a warm undertone, instead of pairing this with a warm piece, you would pair it up with either right here, the baby blue, or you can also utilize the pink. And if you don't want to do it, maybe it's too much color for you and you want to keep it a bit more simple, you can just pair it up with a white. See this? So again, the inspiration needs to come from the piece itself. So what is my inspirational piece? Is this Palazzo colored pants. And what am I doing with it? I'm going to pair it up with a top or blazer, a blouse that is a solid color. Now I'm going to show you another way to pair up other outfits, something that may not necessarily be of color, but again, it's a neutral, solid color that you can add some bit of pizzazz, a bit of glamour, a bit of chicness to it. Stay tuned. So now I'm going to show you how to mix and match using neutrals. So this is a neutral piece, and when I talk about neutrals, I talk about colors like beige, white, black, gray, neutral colors that basically you would wear with any piece. Now this is a way you can rock or mix and match your neutral piece by pairing them together. So for instance, you can pair a beige with a white. You can also pair a beige with a same beige by wearing it in a monochromatic way. And when I talk about monochromatic, basically what I'm saying is using the same tone. So for instance, beige with beige, white with white, black with black, gray with gray. You get the gist. So what I'm going to do is also show you another piece that you can utilize in the same type of fashion. It is also a neutral piece. I would say neutral because of the colors in there. It is not too bold. However, the top now, we are utilizing the same color palettes, which is the same olive color with a little bit of browns, a little bit of earth tone, so it's not too loud. So if you're wondering, oh, should I only pair up color with color or bold with bolds? No. When it comes to the art of mixing and matching styles, you can also utilize other colors within the piece to create that inspiration. So for instance, you can match this very same top with a brown bottom or even a white bottom, or utilizing the orange on that piece as well to pair and match it with. So the important aspect to note is to utilize a piece as inspiration. Then what you can do is pair it with a solid, especially if it has color. Then you can utilize an accessory to accessorize it and just give it a little more value. And last but by no means least, it is always wise to use a neutral color just to blend it out, to allow it to have what I would say some harmony in your outfit. I hope you did enjoy these simple tips on how you can mix and match your styles, so no longer are you going to look in your closet and say, I don't have clothes, I do not know what to wear. And yes, it's not just for the ladies. Men, you can utilize that very same tip as well. When you look inside your closet, you take a main piece, you add it with a little accessory, you get some inspiration from there, you look at the colors, and you see how you can mix and match the styles. I hope you did enjoy this simple tip and this episode of the lookbook. I will see you next time. And just a big shout out to my regular fans out there, especially those who stop me on the street and say, hey lovely, I'm waiting for that episode. I see you, don't you worry, just shouting you out there and tell you a simple happy good morning, and I trust that you have a rest of an amazing week. Bye.
And that is our show for today. Really do hope that you enjoyed it, and I hope that, this features today would have inspired at least one person. That would have been enough. Enjoy the rest of your day. Catch you tomorrow right here on DBS This Morning.